the way, folks, didn't the New York Times? Yes, they did, because I shared it with you. January 4th, the New York Times had a piece about how working hard and climbing the success ladder can make you sick. Remember that? We heralded that story. We talked about it quite a bit here, with the usual degree of incredulity. I mean, it was obviously a story written to accommodate the horrible economy that we've got in this country. Nobody can find meaningful work. There aren't any careers to be had, except for there's always going to be entrepreneurs. There's always going to be a percentage of population that's going to triumph no matter what, and that's always been the case. But having an economic life, an economy that allows for upward mobility for the vast majority of members of the middle class has always been part of the capitalist orientation of this country, and that's what's being destroyed. Entrepreneurs and people that overcome the uniquely talented, they're always going to be there, and they're always going to triumph no matter what obstacle. They're not the problem. And even Obama policies, while they are damaged by them, these are people that creatively find ways around them. But the upward mobility of the middle class has always been one of the things that has set this country apart. That's what's gone. I mean, Obama on Tuesday, when he was on, what was he? He was talking about, what was it on Tuesday? It was about, when he said that he would start using executive orders if he had to make things equal. There's still too much inequality in this country, and he's not going to wait for Congress anymore. So he said he got a phone, and that means he can call his community organizer buddies at Acorn and the like and start raising hell. And he's got a pen, meaning he can sign executive orders. The hell with Congress and the Constitution. And he said then, if you work hard, you get ahead. That's been the American promise, the American dream. You work hard. He just mouths that off. That's part of the illusion of Barack Obama trying to make people think that he is a traditional American. And he's not. He's a transformational American. He doesn't like American tradition. He doesn't believe if you can work hard. That's his problem. That's Barack Obama and the left are a group of people that think that the game is rigged because of capitalism. The rich have all the money and they're never going to share it. And no matter how hard you work, you don't get anywhere except the shaft. That's what he really believes. But he knows that most Americans do not want a country led by somebody who thinks like that. Most Americans instinctively think their president holds the same values they do. That is what's so difficult about educating people about Obama and other leftists like him, is that most people assume that presidents have the same value structure that they do. And this one doesn't. This one doesn't believe that working hard will get you there because he thinks the game's rigged. He thinks it's unfair, it's immoral, it's unjust, and the rich are in charge of everything. And he wants to be one of the rich someday. And in socialism, that's how the rich get rich. We get powerful first. Don't work hard, just get powerful. Don't work hard, don't study a lot, don't spend a lot of time on things, just get power, and that allows you to take money. And that's how socialists get rich. Off of power, not hard work. Obama does not believe that. I'm telling you. That's why he mouths it all the time. He thinks that's what you want to hear. And as long as you think your president believes in that standard American value, hard work is the ticket. Hard work is how you get where you are. As long as you think that's what he believes, you're cool with whatever he does. If you knew that he's just mouthing that, he's just uttering the syllables, and he does utter the syllables. When he talks about this, it's exactly the same word for word every time he talks about it. If you search your memory banks on this, you'll know I'm right. You've heard him talk about this. So one of his ways here of transforming is getting rid of this illusion. Hard work isn't how you get anywhere. That's a big myth that the white European rich power structure has made people believe. But it isn't true. Most people get the shaft. Most people get screwed. So we are here specifically to equalize outcomes. That's exactly what he wants to do, and that's what the purpose of the redistribution of wealth is all about. So anyway, in this circumstance, we've got a declining economy, and look at this. Gallup, more Americans are worse off financially than a year ago. And that has been true every year in this poll, every year. And the number is increasing. More Americans worse off financially than a year ago. This year, the number is 42%. That's stunning. But it's been the result every year. The number's changed, but more Americans every year, more and more Americans are worse off financially. So the New York Times on January 4th, in a bid to help Obama, runs a story, runs a column. You know what? Hard work, this intense success track can make you sick, can lead to all kinds of stress and injury and illness, psychosomatic disorders. It's really not all it's cracked up to be. And a piece like that is meant to cushion the blow of the reality that our economy stinks. Well, it's designed to get people, you know what? Okay, so I'm not succeeding, but that may be good. You know what? That may be good, because I read the other day that success equals getting sick. I don't want to get sick. That's the purpose of a story like that. It's like A-Rod. Have you heard of A-Rod's latest? A-Rod opened a gym in Mexico City, the physical fitness gym. And he spoke for about a minute, and he said, you know what? He didn't use the word suspension, but he implied that not playing next year is actually going to be a good thing. Yeah, you know what? I've been doing this for 20 years. I haven't had a summer off. I haven't had a break. This is really going to be timed well. This is exactly what the doctor ordered. Really, is that why you've spent more money than you have on lawyers trying to defeat this suspension? So it's a frustrating thing to me to hear this man who doesn't believe it utter these syllables. You work hard, you get it. He doesn't believe it. In fact, not believing that forms one of the pillars of his foundation. The fact that that isn't possible in his view, that it's one of the biggest lies capitalism has ever put forth. It's one of the biggest lies people in power have used to subdue the population. This myth that if you work hard, you can get ahead. In Obama's world, that is nothing more than exploitation. You go out and tell people, work hard, really just bust your butt, and you'll get ahead. And that's nothing more than a trick employed by the rich to get cheap labor. This is how they look at it, folks. Please do not doubt me. In Obama's world, everybody in capitalism, everybody's a victim. In Obama's world, everybody's stupid. Everybody's getting played every day by the rich, by the successful, by the powerful. And now here's Michelle Obama from Chicago, first-generation college student, goes to Princeton. They got a great affirmative action program there. And she felt so out of place. And she didn't get into the rhythm of college until she found the Third World Center. Her thesis, by the way, was Princeton educated blacks and the black community, and how Princeton made it miserable for black people. What is this, a dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies or something? Bumper music? I was going to say, what the hell is this? I know this is not a bump. You know, I'm deaf, and this just sounds like that was Van Halen. They should be embarrassed to record something like that. That sounds like the Sugar Plum Fairies. Now, that sounds more like it. Look at... Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I know what you're saying. You heard F. Chuck Todd say, what, a 4-year term for Hillary, a good 4-year term? And you're sitting there and you're saying, good 4-year term, Egypt, Arab Spring, the Russian reset, the loss of much of Central and South America to communism. And you're thinking, they say she's had a good 4-year term? Folks, I'm trying to look. That is not how Hillary or her husband, but let's talk Hillary. That's not how she's judged. The media, how to put this? It's not hard. I don't mean it's hard to understand. That's a challenge for me to explain it. Nothing's real. Nothing is about substance with these people. In judging Hillary, it's not whether she did a good job as Secretary of State. It's how does she look when it's all over? Is her reputation intact? Can we make the case that she did a good job? Can we credibly say that? All that matters is the spin. Will the spin have credibility? I guess is what I'm saying. That's how they judge the Clintons. Will the way we spin it to make them look good work? And if it'll work, then it's a good 4-year term. If they don't think they can credibly spin incompetence into a good 4-year term, then they'll say she's in trouble. And what F. Chuck Todd was telling you was, I don't care what you think of what happened in those 4 years. We can make them look good. Ergo, she had a successful 4-year term. But wait, 4 Americans died. Doesn't matter. If nobody's worried about that, and if nobody's going to hold her responsible, then it's no big deal. It's all about media. It's all about spin. It's all about buzz. It's all about PR. It isn't about reality. And one of the things that makes that work is the low information voter is totally informed by PR and buzz and spin. That's what they believe to be true. The low information voter will hear 4 Americans died in Benghazi. But then if the media is not upset about it, and there's not a whole lot of hearings, and if there isn't any, must not be a big deal. This country, if anything, is prisoner now to crisis management PR and spin and buzz. And that's the true test of media power. And that's all F. Chuck Todd was saying. Good 4-year term is defined by we can spin it that she was great Secretary of State and nobody's laughing at us. Well, except us, but we don't count as far as they're concerned. And I think same thing they look at Obama. Okay, the economy's in a tank for 5 years, but he's out there saying if you really work hard, you can get ahead. That's what we want to restore. Well, that's easy to spin. I mean, everybody believes that, right? If the president believes that, then eventually things are going to get fixed. Everything's fine. Just going to take a little longer. That bothers me more than media bias. I mean, the media bias it is what it is, and it's been that way forever. What bothers me is I'm mayor of Rioville, and the media, which is supposed to be the news of the day, the media is responsible for creating every day an artificial reality that is indeed artificial. And yet it's rooted, this artificiality is what is real to the low information voter. And that's the real dangerous thing to me, is that people who think they know things, not only are they dead wrong, they don't know they're being lied to. The things they know are not right, but you'll never convince them of that.